Alright, in this video we're going to start going over the differences between a major battle and a minor battle. Remember, we had mentioned previously that a major battle is going to be one in which each side has at least 8 units on it. So our minor battles before are going to be a little different from these major ones. Now I've got some units built up here, a stack of 20 next to this enemy stack of 14. And I'm actually going to play an event card so I can bring all my units, because you see some of these are already grayed out because they have moved this turn. So I'm going to play an event card, and it's going to be this Force March, which allows me to move a stack of units twice, just to show you guys the example. So we'll select the army, and bam, you see everyone is now free to move again. So we can hover here, it brings up our cannon icon, and we will move into this area so we can initiate a major battle. Okay, so you can see now that the board looks vastly different from what we have seen previously. Now, in our minor battles, there was just the battle line on each side. You would put your troops on it. It would be depending on your commander's rating, stuff like that. In a major battle, you're going to have a much different board to put your units on. Now, at the beginning of it, you're going to randomly, or the computer rather, is going to randomly decide who's going to set up their units first. In this case, it is decided that the enemy is going to set up their units first. So we see there is a left, a center, and a right here. These are called lanes. So there's your left lane, center lane, and right lane. And there's the enemy battle line, your battle line, and then the no man's area in between on each one of these three areas. Now, on top of this, your reserve is now actually part of the battlefield as well, and that's going to be behind your line, and you can have up to 30 units in your reserve, but you can only put 4 in each one of these lanes. So you can put 4 here in your left, 4 in your center, 4 in your right, and up to 30 down here on the bottom. Now, this battle is going to take place almost the exact same way that a minor battle would take place, with a few following differences. Now, here, a army is going to be considered broken and have a disordered retreat if any one of your lanes no longer has units in it. So if you have any lane that has had all the units there taken out, then your whole army is going to break, and you're going to have a disordered retreat, and we'll have the pursuit that we spoke about previously. So let's go ahead and set up my line so you guys can see how that's going to look. We'll leave McDowell as the overall commander. We'll throw Banks on a line somewhere. You definitely want to put your artillery out because they can come in handy. We'll go over the specifics of that here in just a sec, but let's put our artillery piece here, artillery piece here. Actually, we're going to move this one over, put our artillery piece here. We'll put another one here in the center, and we'll put another one here on the right, and then we will fill in the rest with some troops. Put some troops over here, just randomly throwing them out. And then we can also take Banks and throw him as a core commander here in the center. So before we start our battle, this could be what your lines are going to look like. Now, one of the neat differences in a major battle is that your units can move in between the different spots when the actual battle's taking place. So you can have a unit fall back from the battle line here and to the reserves, or you could move a unit from the reserves into one of the battle lines. Obviously, it would have to be an open spot. You can move people into no man's land or back out. So your options for maneuver warfare are vastly greater in a major battle. The thing is, you can only attack in your lane. So like my artillery piece over here can't fire onto these units in the center or in the right. It can only fire ahead. You can only attack ahead in a major battle. You can only attack the enemies basically in your lane. Now, one of the good things about having artillery when it comes to a major battle is that they can attack up to 2 areas away. So this counts as an area, no man's land is an area, and the enemy zone is an area as well. So our infantry and our cavalry that are up here on these lines, they can't attack right now. They have to attack someone in no man's land. They have to attack someone they're adjacent to. But your artillery can attack farther than that. So this artillery, when the battle was started, could reach out and hit enemy units. Since they are firing farther away, they would be incurring a penalty. Also, if you have friendly units here in no man's land, your artillery can fire over them, but that will incur you another penalty on top of that. Also, you can't leave units in the reserve, so you can't have like artillery in the reserve and attack with them. They actually do have to be on the battle line to be attacked with. Also, as another example, your cavalry can come into play a lot more here in a major battle. So if we had cavalry here on our line, they could move once and still conduct an attack, or they could move up to 2 spaces. Your artillery and your infantry can still only move once and then not attack. So you can't do maneuver warfare with them, but you can do that with your cavalry. Now, there is one more major difference when it comes to a major battle, and that has to do with the retreat option. Retreat no longer comes in as an option on the second battle turn, right? So you would have to fight a battle round and then retreat after that second battle round was finished in a minor battle. In a major battle, the retreat button down here is not going to come into play until either 3 to 5 rounds. That's randomly going to be decided as well, just like the initiative. So you're not exactly sure when you might have the possibility to retreat. One more thing to keep in mind is that major battles only go on for 8 rounds total. So if you have not finished the attack, finished the battle off after 8 rounds, the attack will end.